Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Dywan here with the Region Sports Network, and I'm here with longtime Chesterton football head coach Mark Peterson. Coach, how are we doing today?
Very good, very good.
Always,
Excited to get out and get some actual,
yes,
little more live action
yes,
going.
sir. Always a pleasure to be out here. We're kind of getting in the nitty gritty in the summer. Talk to me about where your team's kind of at so far on these kind of early parts of the offseason.
Yeah, real excited about some of the kids that we have coming back on offense. We ended up returning 6 guys that were full-time starters last year. So from a nucleus perspective, offensively, we got a great group back. We actually only returned 5 full-time starters on defense, with a couple of other guys that saw some time, but it wasn't like full-time players. So I've been spending a lot of time over the last 4 or 5 practices here, really working on, through spring practices as well, really working on just getting our defensive guys to pick up scheme and skill.
Sure.
And then also really work on all the techniques associated with each of the different positions. But anytime you get a chance to go against a team of the caliber of Andrea, and we certainly feel like we're going to be able to come out of this with some great experience, but also some, hopefully a little better skill development at the same time.
Definitely, and that always helps facing a team like them.
Sure.
Looking a little bit back on the last season, obviously maybe not the results we wanted, but this was a team I've noticed kind of at the games that you guys fought in a lot of games. I mean, you guys played teams like Valparaiso, Crown Point very well, played Warsaw very well, some just tough losses. I mean, talk to me kind of about those teams. Obviously, I mean, you lose a little bit of talent, but you're returning some guys that are fighters, and they, maybe a bounce didn't go their way in some of those games, but just talk to me about some of those guys that are returning, maybe some names, that we should look out for come this fall.
Yeah. I think ultimately when you look back at it from last season, I think it was 4 of those games that we lost. We were within 7 points, at some point in time down the stretch, or even within 7 points at the final score. So, having an opportunity to be within 2 or 1 or 2 against Hobart and 2 against Warsaw, play Valpo, even in the sectionals with a 17, I think 7 lead at the half. Really gave us a ton of confidence going off into this off season.
Sure.
Kids have done a great job in the off season, really building themselves up in the weight room, but also I think just emotional development. Sometimes it takes as much emotional, growth as it does physical growth, and so we see that maturation process. One of the guys that has really been a stalwart for us on defense, Owen Edlin's got a preferred walk-on offer at Notre Dame right now, and a full scholarship offer at Western Michigan. He had a great spring and went through a variety of the different camps and individual workout type kind of things, where he has an opportunity to show what he's capable of. And so a lot of people are interested in him. I think he's going to have, he's done a great job over the last couple of years, but I can see this being a really great breakout year for him as well.
I wanted to get into the season a little bit, but about players of like Edlin's talent. I wanted to ask Coach Skinner this as well at Andrean. Having talented players obviously getting looked at the next level, and kids also playing multi-sports, maybe not being here completely all summer. How do you have to kind of deal with that as a coach? I feel like that's a very underrated aspect of the summer, and of course you want your kids to play at the next level, or maybe do travel baseball, play multi-sports. How is kind of that process for the people that don't know?
It's interesting. We have about 75% of our kids playing another sport, whether it's wrestling, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, or just a variety of different things throughout the entire year. We're actually missing about 6 guys tonight that are off in travel baseball league tournaments, I should say, or at a variety of different things for family events or whatever it might be. So, I think ultimately you're going to find programs that are very conscientious about just trying to develop and build those guys as football players. And that's something that we're going to work hard to do. No question. We spend the time in the off season and all of our preseason doing that. But I grew up as a multi-sport kid, and I really think it's important for our families to be able to have those experiences, our kids to be able to have those experiences.
Certainly.
As a team, that's such an important team component for football. You got to be able to know that you can trust the other guy.
Certainly.
And to take them out of the football huddle and put them in a basketball huddle or on the baseball field or even in a track meet, sometimes they have to rely on themselves a little bit more, or they have to learn to rely on others in a different way. So I think it really helps build us in terms of a team continuity. I find nothing but great benefits from it, and I encourage our guys to be multi-sport athletes all the time.
Love that. So when all these guys come together, of course, we're looking at week 1, which is, I think, one of the best non-conference litmus tests any team in the area could have. Again, you guys will have Hobart here. What do you want to see from your team kind of as we get closer to August and that week 1 game?
Sure. I think probably the ultimate thing is going to be consistency, developing that level of continuity and consistency both on offense and defense that are going to give us opportunities to win games. But particularly win games down the stretch. We gave ourselves chances last year, working hard this offseason. A lot of conversation that we've had this offseason, but now even in the preseason, just really talking about finding ways to win. That could be one more turnover. That could be one more first down. That could be, one more catch, one more possession, one more blocked kick. And so, if everybody does one more thing, man, that turns into 10 things, and suddenly now it's a 14-point win on our side.
Awesome. I guess
so a lot of energy that way.
I guess to round it out with this, as you can see, we're kind of on the north side of the field, on the practice field. I know you guys are putting in some new turf. What's that going to be like? That's pretty cool to see. We see a lot of teams kind of in the area, again, doing a lot of care and kind of upgrading their facilities. What does that mean to kind of see, hey, we're getting some new turf, the community is kind of looking back and hey, supporting the program? Yeah,
community has been phenomenal. Our football community here in Chesterton is fantastic. They come out every Friday night and give us great support. The field, it's hard to believe, but it's already been 13 years old. It's been 13 years since we put it in, so it is 13 years old.
Yep.
While the turf itself was actually still in pretty good playable shape in terms of the rebound and some of the softness of the turf was still in good shape. The seams had really started to wear and weather, and that just comes from time. So it was really time to get that done. They're midway through. I think you can see there as we're looking at it about the
halfway
50-yard line. Yeah,
let's just get it done by August.
We got to have her done by August 9th. That's our inner squad. But awesome. We'll see. I think they'll have. We're doing some things to the track too, and some other things to the stadium. So great administrative support. But you have a vision and a plan, and from our athletic department all the way up to the top of the superintendent's office, knowing that we have the resources to be able to put those aside and be able to do those things to keep us. Some of the top facilities in the conference is certainly a key component.
Well, Coach, thank you again for letting us come
Appreciate
out.
It.
Always a pleasure.
Glad you guys.
Again,
You're always
Coach
welcome.
Peterson with Chesterton. I'm Mike Dywan here with the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.